Imagine it's 2 a.m. and you're lying in bed thinking about that conversation from 3 days ago, analyzing every word, every pause, every facial expression. Or maybe you've spent the last hour staring at your phone, crafting and recrafting a simple text message. Sound familiar? The thing is, you're not alone in this mental marathon. Millions of people struggle with the same challenge, constantly asking themselves, what if and should have, without realizing it's eating away their peace of mind. This is what overthinking does. And the real question is, how to not overthink and finally break free from this cycle. What's up, everyone? You're watching Let's Learn Psychology, and today we're diving into the psychology of overthinking. I'll be sharing 5 scientifically backed strategies that will not only show you how to not overthink, but also help you reclaim your mental clarity. These are proven psychological techniques that can reshape the way your brain processes thoughts and decisions, allowing you to live stress-free. So let's get started. Understand the nature of overthinking. Overthinking isn't just thinking deeply about something. It's the excessive, repetitive analysis of thoughts, situations, or decisions that goes far beyond what's helpful or productive. The focus is on problems rather than solutions, often spiraling into increasingly negative scenarios that rarely reflect reality. From a psychological perspective, the hypervigilant mental state helped humans navigate genuine physical threats in hostile environments in ancient times. However, in our modern world today, this same mechanism often misfires, treating everyday stressors, like work deadlines, social interactions, or future uncertainties, as if they were life-threatening emergencies. Why is it a serious issue today? The psychological costs of chronic overthinking are well documented. Research consistently shows that overthinkers experience higher levels of anxiety, depression, and stress-related physical symptoms. The constant mental chatter depletes cognitive resources, leading to decision fatigue and reduced problem-solving abilities. Paradoxically, the more we think about our problems, the less capable we become of actually solving them. Another concerning aspect is the illusion of productivity. Your mind convinces you that the more you think, the more you're able to solve the problem. In the book Atomic Habits, the author calls this state motion. You feel like you're making progress, but in reality, it's action that creates real progress, not motion. It's just an illusion. So if it's such a serious issue, why do we still overthink? Well, that's due to certain reasons. Fear of making mistakes. Our brain is programmed in a way that keeps us safe. In prehistoric times, this quality kept our ancestors safe. We all know about the fight or flight response, that same quality of our brain to protect us. But the problem is, in today's world, it makes us overanalyze whether to send that email or not, or what other people might say. People have become so judgmental that it makes us overthink. We fear making mistakes. Perfectionism. Another thing is perfectionism. We need to understand that perfectionism is evil. You keep thinking about the finishing touches of that design you've made, and you realize hours have passed. You keep thinking and editing that text again and again, and still you're confused. Nothing is perfect in this world. There is no other way than to just accept this fact. So, next time when you feel like, just think a little more and this is going to be perfect, that's just nonsense. Need for control. We want to make everything under our control. No losses, no failures, no mistakes, just winning everything. That's not how life works, and when it throws unexpected problems at you, you get heavily stressed out. Overthinking feels like the only solution. Another perspective is that we start overgeneralizing, where one bad experience becomes evidence that everything will go wrong. But in reality, when that thing happens, you're amazed, thinking, this was too easy. There was nothing to fear about. There are multiple other reasons that can be talked about, but for now, let's talk about what could be the best strategies to stop overthinking. 1. Meditation. First of all, it's mindfulness and meditation. Research from Harvard Medical School shows that just 8 weeks of mindfulness practice can actually change brain structure, reducing activity in the amygdala, your brain's alarm system, while strengthening areas responsible for attention and emotional regulation. There are various breathing techniques. For example, you can use the 4-7-8 method. Breathe in for 4 counts, hold for 7, and exhale for 8. Let's try it out. And an important thing to keep in mind is to try to empty your mind. Release all the stress when you are doing this exercise. You will feel much better. 2. Break the cycle with physical action. In my personal experience, this is the most practical strategy to stop overthinking. You know your thoughts are under your control. Some people, even if they want to, they can't stop thinking. But I disagree. When you're overthinking, simply close your eyes, take one deep breath, and empty your mind. Then immediately stand up and start doing something. This is what we call breaking the cycle. Science says physical movement interrupts neural pathways of overthinking. Overthinking only happens when you intentionally do it. For example, if someone's chatting with you or you're helping your father with something, you won't be able to overthink as that requires focus. But if you sit alone and decide to think about something, that's when you can fall into an overthinking state, like when you're about to sleep. Also, when you feel tired, you won't be able to focus. So if it's intentional, that means you can stop it as well if you want. Just break the cycle and start some activity. 3. Set time limits for decision making. This is by far another practical approach that I personally use. You have to understand that planning is very important in life. You observe, you think, and you plan things out. You have to make many important decisions in your life. If you don't think, anyone can easily deceive you. But once you make a decision, you never know whether it's going to work or not. There comes believing in God's plan. Nobody knows the future. Whatever job you're doing, did you know this would be your job one day? And how long you would be doing this job? You just have to believe. So there is nothing wrong with thinking, but when you're thinking too much, that's where the problem lies. You can fall into perfectionism again. So you have to set a time limit, properly think about something in that time, and finally make a decision, then just believe. Break the cycle once you've made the decision. Don't start thinking over and over again about the same thing. 4. Cognitive reframing. Cognitive reframing is a very simple but effective technique for overthinkers. As we already talked about overgeneralizing things, when you catch yourself spiraling, ask these 3 questions. Is this thought based on facts or assumptions? What evidence do I have for and against this thought? What would I tell a good friend if they shared this worry with me? You have to reframe the thoughts. For example, your boss didn't respond to your email immediately, and you're thinking, they must be angry with me. I probably messed up that project. Maybe I'm going to get fired. Now let's reframe. My boss hasn't responded yet. This could mean many things. They're busy, they're thinking about their response, or they simply haven't seen it yet. One delayed email doesn't determine my job security or their opinion of me. So you examine things rationally rather than emotionally. 5. Break tasks into smaller steps. Lastly, how can I forget about those sleepless nights before an exam or any other important assignments? It's the same for everyone. When you suddenly have to do something important and big, you start to worry about it so much. And if you're an overthinker, that's a big nightmare for you. The solution is to simply break everything down into micro steps. You have to hijack your brain's reward system. Each small win releases dopamine, creating positive momentum instead of mental paralysis. A 2015 study by Dominican University found that individuals who wrote down their goals were 42% more likely to achieve them than those who didn't. So when you feel overwhelmed by a project, ask yourself, what's the tiniest thing I can do right now to move this forward? Usually it's something so small like writing the title of a report maybe, and it feels almost silly not to do it. And that's exactly the point. Conclusion. Sustained focus is like a muscle. It gets stronger with practice. If you're a heavy overthinker, give 1 hour daily to thinking. This way you'll feel better and improve instead of thinking all day. Keep working, and as a reward, give yourself 1 hour of thinking daily. Then after practicing for a month or 2, gradually stop overthinking and only think when it's necessary, under some time limit. Make decisions and start action. You will feel much better. There is so much more content that could be covered, but for now, I think this is enough. I want to hear from you. Which strategy are you going to try first or already using that could be helpful for others? Drop a comment below and let me know. And if you found this helpful, hit that like button and subscribe for more psychology-backed content. Remember, you're not alone in this journey. We're building a community committed to learning and improving. I'll see you in the next video, where we'll dive even deeper into mastering your mindset. And lastly, your little support on Patreon can help produce more amazing content. Show some love, and see you soon.